So today we are going to continue with chapter 4 because in chapter 4, the topic is to study decision making, the right decision making. So we want to learn, we have learned if right statement, if else structure, if else if structure, okay? So for radio button and check boxes, similar because why we mentioned the control in this chapter because when you select radio button, right? So in your code, something will happen. So usually you will use the if statement. The if statement. When you check some checkbox options, so something will happen. That is also if structure. Okay, that is also if structure. So today, the next topic is a switch statement. So what is a switch statement? The switch statement lets the value of a variable or an expression determine which path of execution the program will take. So what is that? For example, if we have 7 days per week, right? And if we have a plan for different day in the week, then we have 7 different options. If we use if else, then we need 7, right? 7 basically if else to determine which one is the right option. However, with the switch statement, we can find, oh, so today it is Wednesday, so we go to Wednesday directly without checking Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We go to Wednesday directly. So it is a multiple alternative decision structure. Basically, we can use switch statement to deal with multiple alternative decision structure. So it can be used as an alternative to an if-else-if statement that tests the same variable or expression for several different values. For example, if we have a variable day, right? And we can check if day equals Monday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We can check. So in this example, we have 7 different alternatives, right? Monday, Sunday to Saturday, 7 different options. So it can be used as an alternative to an if-else-if statement. Basically, we can use if-else-if to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no problem. So, but with the switch statement, so the code is clean and it is easy to use, okay? It is easy to use. The switch statement provides the same functionality as an if-else-if statement, but maybe easier to read and understand in some situations, okay? Because if you have this if-else-if, right? So the code is a mess, so which is very hard to read. But with the switch statement, so it is much easier for the reader or for the other programmers to read your code, okay, to read your code. So this is the generic format of switch statement. So we have one expression, which is the test expression. Okay, you can see that for switch. So after switch, you have a pair of parentheses. Inside this pair of parentheses, you have a test expression. The test expression is a variable of expression that is given an integer, string, or bool value. It cannot be a double or decimal value because the expression needs to be an option, okay? For a decimal or a double value, so they are floating numbers. It cannot be option. The option can be 1, 2, 3, 4, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Or it can be true or false, okay? But it cannot be 15.34. It cannot be 16.45, okay? So we can use integer, string, or bool value as the test expression. Each case is an individual subsection containing one or more statements followed by a break statement. So this is the structure. You see, we have switch, test expression, we have case, value 1. So we have statements associated with the first case, value 1. Then we have a break. We have the second case, value 2. We have its corresponding statements. We have another break. And we have a bunch of cases. The last case is case value n, right? We have statements and a break. We also have another default. The default section is optional and is designed for a situation in which the test expression does not match any of the cases. For example, if we have designed Sunday to Saturday, 7 days, but you enter December, which is not a day, but is a month, right? You enter December. December is not any day in a week. So it is not in any of these cases. So in this case, so we are going to go to the option default. Okay. If none of the above 1 to n cases can be covered by the current value, okay, we go to default, okay. So you need to understand how it works, how we run it. For example, let's assume test expression is a day, okay. We have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 7 days with that under default. Let's assume test expression is Tuesday or is Wednesday, which is today, right? Which is today. So in this case, C# will try to match the value with the case value here. For example, we see that test expression is Wednesday. So the third case will be Wednesday, or the fourth case, whatever. Let's assume the third case is a Wednesday. So in this case, C# can find, oh, in the third case, I can have the value 3, which is Wednesday, right? So C# will jump to the third case directly without going over case 1, case 2, or other cases. It jumps to case 3 directly, then execute all the statements inside case 3, right? Once C# finishes, C# will see the break, right? Break means, so C# will jump out from the whole switch structure, okay? Let me see what's going on. So C# will jump out the whole switch structure, okay? Whole switch structure. So in this case, only one of the cases will be executed. All the other cases will be skipped. If none of the cases 1 to 7, Sunday to Saturday, can be matched to the test expression, for example, test expression is, you have a typo, it is December, right? In this case, it is not a day, but a month. C# will jump over all the previous cases, go to default, execute a statement, maybe information to tell the user you have input a wrong day, okay? You are not input the correct day. Then go to the break, it means jump out from the whole switch structure, okay, whole switch structure. So this is how it works. This is how it works, okay? Only one of the cases will be executed. Then when the case is finished, C# will jump out of the whole switch structure. So that is how it works, okay? That is how. So here is one example. We have a variable in a switch. The expression is a month, which is a variable, okay? For month, so we want to deal with January, February, and March. The first 3 months in a year. And for default, if the month is not January, February, or March, so the default option is, so the user will see a message, error, invalid month. Only the first 3 months will be considered as valid input, okay, valid input. So in this case, if month equals January, okay, C# C case 1, because January is the first case, you have 1, right? It means in this case, the month is an integer, 1, 2, 3, okay, 1, 2, 3. If month equals 1, So we are going to do case 1. So in case 1, C# will display the message January, then jump out. If month equals 2, the message February will be displayed, then C# jump out of the whole switch structure. If month equals March, the message March will be displayed, then C# jump out, right? The whole switch. If month does not equal to 1, 2, or 3, we will see the message error invalid month. Okay, only one of the options will be executed. All the other options will be jumped over, will be skipped. Okay, that is how it works. Okay, why will you choose the statement you want to use in your project? You have to fully understand how it works. For example, you pick if else if, right? You understand how if else if works. You pick switch, you understand how switch structure works. Okay, that is important. So the next topic is introduction to list boxes. Okay, list boxes. So a list box control displays a list of items and allows the user to select an item from the list. A typical example is this. When you try to purchase or make order online on Amazon, for example, right? So you type your address. For the street part, you type. For example, you can type 4204 or East 4th Avenue, right? That is the address. However, for the city, you can also type Tampa or other cities, right? But for the state, most of the time, you have to select, right? So in the list, you will have states like Alabama, Arizona, Florida, right? You select among one of the states. So in this case, all the options are pre-built, right, in the list. The user can pick one among all the options. For example, you can pick Florida, you can pick California, but you cannot pick 2 because it's impossible, right? Because it's impossible. So for a list box, the commonly used properties include items, gets or sets the items of a list box. So selected item gets or sets the current selected item in a list box. The following gets the selected item in a list box. Like note the use of the toString method to convert the list item from a generic object type to a string type for assignment to a string variable. You see, this is if there is a list of city, okay, list of city, and we have the city list box. I will use dot selected items dot string. Why we do this? Because selected items is not a string. Even you can read, for example, you read Tampa, the word Tampa in the list, but your selection is an object. It is not a string, okay? In order to display the content of your selection, or assign the content of your selection to a string variable, you have to use the toString method, okay? The toString method. So the toString method can transfer your selected object to a string, okay, to a string. So another useful property is selected index. So the selected index gets or sets the zero-based index of the currently selected item in a list box. The first item in the list has a select index value of 0, okay? The second item has a select index value of 1. That is a very, very important concept. So in advanced programming language like C# or C++, when you have a sequence of items, for example, you have array, okay, array of names or array of numbers. So in our intuition, right, the index of the first item will be 1. The index of the second item will be 2, right? However, in these advanced programming languages, the index of the first item will be 0. the index of the second item will be 1. If you have 10 items, right? The index of the last item is not 10, but 9, because it starts from 0, okay? It starts from 0, it does not start from number 1, okay? That is a very, very important concept. So we will go back to this concept when we study array, which is a chapter we are going to cover after the midterm, okay? So this is the first time that we learn that concept. It means in your code, if you want to cite, use the first element, the index is number 0. If you want to use the second element, the corresponding index number it is 1, not 2, okay? Not 2. That is an important concept. So this is a very simple example, okay? For example, this is a very simple application, which is time zone. Time zone. So it asks you, the user, to select a city, and it will determine the corresponding time zone. We have Denver, we have Honolulu, we have Minneapolis, right? We have New York, we have San Francisco, we have 5 different cities. So in this case, if you select Denver, which is the first item in the list, so in this case, the value of the selected index property is 0. Okay, it is not 1. If you select San Francisco, which is the 5th item, last item, so you will see the corresponding selected index property will be 4, not 5. Okay, not 5. So that is the one example for list box control. List box control. Okay. So reading the selected item property.
I'm sorry.
Question? Okay. So reading the selected item property, so an exception will occur if you try to get the value of the selected property if no item is selected, okay? If you try to use the selected item property but no item selected, so there is an exception, okay? The selected index property stores the index value of the selected item in the list. If no item is selected, the value of selected index is 0. Okay, it's -1. -1. -1 means, so it is before 0. Nothing has been selected. Okay, nothing has been selected. So the selected index property can be used to ensure that an item is selected before and attempting to retrieve the value from the selected item property. You see, so one, we can do this, right? We can do if city list box dot selected index not equal to -1, it means something has been selected, right? If nothing has been selected, based on what we have learned, this value, select index property value, will equal to -1, right? It equals to -1. So in this case, the condition not equal to -1 is false. We will not go inside the if structure. Otherwise, if you select something, it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the value of selected index does not equal to -1. Okay, does not equal to -1. So in this case, condition is true, and we are going to do selected item. Okay, if nothing has been selected, you try to cite the selected item property, you got one exception. In order to avoid this kind of problem, this is the structure you can use. Okay, try to use selected index property to see if something has been selected or nothing has been selected. Okay, nothing has been selected. So the list of items in a list box. Here, a list box control has been selected in design view. You see, this is how it works, right? Here, the items properties ellipsis button is being clicked to open the string collection editor. Here are displayed items that were typed into the string collection editor window, one item per time. Okay, for example, so we can use this example. Okay, so we still try to do the. We are now learning list box. Okay, list box. So we can put a list box here, right? Okay, we put a list box here. Okay, and for the list box, remember when you add a control, right, to your application, the first step is always to change what? Change the name of the control. Okay, rename the control. So I want to do what? I want to, for this application, I want the list to be some states. For example, I want Florida, Georgia, maybe, let me see, what's the close state? South Carolina, maybe, what's the next one? Oh, I just put 3. Let's put 3, okay? So let me put 3. I want to put 3 states, okay? States list box, okay? List box. Okay, state list box. So for this list box, you see now it's empty, right? Based on the slides. So we try to follow the steps to add items. Add items, okay? Add items. So in this case, you can see I have, you go to the item property, items property. So there is, you can click this one, right? The button, click it. I have this window, okay? This is this step, right? Now I move here. I want a couple of states inside. I want to have Florida. I want to have Georgia. I want to have South Carolina, right? South Carolina. 3 different states that I click OK, right? You see, I have 3 different states inside, right? 3 different states inside. So if you see that, if I run this application, right? I run this application. So you see, I have 3 different states, right? I can select any of it or any of them. But most of the time, you need some indication. What is that, right? You need a label. You may need a label, okay? Okay. So I have a label here. So for the label, I want to rename it to state label. State label, I want the text property to be states, okay, state. Okay, you see that it's clear. So indicate this list box is for state, okay? You can resize the list box to make it look better, okay, may look better, okay? So if now we run it, okay, we run it. Okay, I have. Let me see if I can add something. Whatever. Okay. So in this simple application, I have 3 different options. Okay, if so, nothing has been selected. If you want to cite in your code, you have to use this way, right? To cite the selected item. Okay. If you select, in this case, if I select Florida, the index number is 0, Georgia 1, South Carolina 2, okay, 0, 1, and 2, 3 different index numbers. So you have to be very clear about this concept, okay. So let's continue. Another possible option is combo boxes. So these are covered in appendix, okay, combo boxes. But combo boxes is very similar. Controls are very similar to list box controls in that they both display a list of items to the user. And they have many of the same properties and methods available. Actually, when you place an online order, usually states, the option states, right, is designed in a combo box. Why? Because you will not see this, right, full list unless you click arrow, right? A bunch of states will pop out, right? You select one of them, okay? So that is combo box. So visually, combo boxes are different from list boxes in that the typical way in which they are displayed does not show the list of options until an arrow on the control is clicked by the user. This makes them very space efficient on the form. You see, for this one, right? I have only 3 states, but if I have all 50 states, what's going on? I have a very long list, right? Which will occupy a large space, right, from the form. Bad design, okay, bad design. So instead, a combo box may be a better choice, like this one, right? In case I click arrow, right? Some options will happen, okay? Some option will happen. So you see that here we have some examples, okay? So the list box has been sized in the designer to display the entire list of options. You see, in this example, I have apple, bananas, cherry. We have a bunch of different fruits. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So in order to display all the 9 different options, so the list box is very long, it's very large, okay? However, if you can control the size of the list box, then there's a bar, right? In the list box, you can drag the bar to see all the list. That is when the list box is not enough to display all the options, But for combo box, so things are much compact, right? Much more compact. So if you click the arrow, you have a bunch of different options, okay? Let's try if we can do a combo box, okay? Combo box in our example. So this is the combo box. I double click, right? I have a combo box, okay? I just put it behind the list box as example. So same thing, I want to adjust its size, right? Just its size, okay? Then I go select combo box. The first step is to rename it, okay? Rename it. We have states, combo box, okay? Combo box. So similarly, they are very similar. We go to items. So for items, right, we can still put all the items like Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina, okay, 3 different states. We click OK, we have it, right? In this case, let's try our application. So if we run the application, right, you see, one click, right, 3 states will pop up. You select one, so the selected one will be displayed, okay? So which is a very compact design, okay? The compact design of the application. So types of combo box. There are still some different types of combo box. So a combo box may also function like a text box in that the user may either text into the box area in some types of combo boxes. The drop-down type property determines how data is specified in a combo box. We have three options: simple, drop down list. What's the difference? Let's go inside, okay? So let me close it. So if I want to see drop down style, so what is that? Drop down means, okay? Drop down means, you see, when I run the application, right? I cannot type, okay? So the type function is gone, okay? I can only select, okay? I can only select. Let me see, that may not be fully correct. Let me check it, okay? Well, simple drop down list, okay? For the three different options, simple list is always shown, no arrow required. It's similar as a list box, right? So all the 1, 2, 3, 4 lists are there. For example, if I pick in my application, if I pick the drop down to be simple, right? You see all the options are displayed. Okay, if I run it, you will see. All are there. Okay, it's not hidden. Okay, it's not hidden. So if for a drop-down combo box list appears when arrow is clicked, user can select from list or type in the value. There are two different ways. So if I still try to go to the drop-down from simple to drop-down, right? If I run my application, the user can select Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina, or type, okay? Florida, for example, okay, Florida. They can both type and select the option from the list, okay? Either way is fine. However, for the third option, drop-down list combo box. So it is behaves like a drop-down combo box, except that the user may not enter text in box, may only select item in the list, right? In this case, if I change the drop-down style from drop-down to drop-down list, okay? I run it. You see in my application, right? So it's great. It means I cannot type. I only click and select. Okay, no typing function here. So this is the difference among the three different options. Simple, all options are displayed. Drop down combo box. User can either click arrow, select from list, or user can type what they want, right? So the next one is drop down list. The user can only select from the list. No type.
Professor?
No question?
Yes. So do you think that drop-down list is the best option? Because the other two, like where the user can type, can make a potential error if like he enters a variable that is not in the list.
Yeah, the point is if you allow the user type their own option, right? So the first one is good, or the list is very long, right? Typing is a shortcut for the user, right? That depends on how you want to design the application. So drop-down list, drop-down is a good option. However, if you have a very high strict requirement, for example, address, right? If the address is wrong, then the items cannot be shipped. There is some problem, right? So in this case, you may want to use the drop-down list to restrict the user. Okay, it depends on the actual design. Okay?
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So okay, so that is combo box style. So the next one is two tips. What is that? Let's assume you have a very complicated application. There are a bunch of menus, a bunch of buttons, right? So for example, this is, so let me, right, this is Word. You may think about what is easy. but there are too many functions there, right? To be honest, nobody can learn everything for the word, okay? Everything for the word. So I still remember a joke when I was an undergrad student. So the joke was that the department chair of our department, he has a nickname. The nickname was he #1 word in our department. So why he got that nickname? It is because he knew everything about Word. And for most of us, we only use very simple functions, right? How to type, how to save, print, those kind of simple things. But he knew everything. That's why he got the nickname #1 in Word, okay, in our department. But if you want to understand some function, how to understand that? For example, this is my Word, right? So I have a bunch of options. I want to say, so what is this, right? You see, I have no idea what is that is me not good. What's that? What is get adding? I want to use it. I have no idea, right? When I put the cursor mouse on that option, a window, a small hint pops up. The hint is find add-ins that add new functionalities to Office, right? So how we get this hint? This is tooltip, right? It means when you have a complicated design for business applications. So if the user is confused about something, right, they can get help, instant help from it, right? This is tooltip, right? This example of tooltip in Word, right? I put it in header, so you see a help pops up, right? A hint pops up. So that is the tooltip, okay? So a tooltip is a short text message displayed when the user pauses the mouse pointer over a control. So here's an example. So we have enter a test score to validate an input area and a button, right? And a button. So if the user want to understand, so if I click the button validate, what's going on? What will happen? Then the hint is click to validate test score. Okay, it's a hint for the functionality we have designed in the application. Okay, we have designed in the application. So how to create a tooltip? This is a little bit different from the other controls we have learned before the tooltip, which is a little bit different. To add tooltips to controls on a form, first double click on the tooltip icon in the toolbox. Okay, this is similar. Let's do this. So I go to tooltip. Tooltip here, right? I double click. Okay, you see when I double click, the tooltip is not on the form. It is behind the form, right? It is below the form, which is different because for all the other controls I have added on the form, each time I double click, the corresponding control will be added on the form. However, for tooltip, right, the tooltip is below the form. Okay, below the form, that's the first different thing. Okay. For example, I want to give a hint, right? I want to give a hint to the clear button tooltip. Okay, I give a hint for the button clear. Okay. So let's see the slides. What's the next step? So we add a tooltip, right? Tooltip. Next, to add a tooltip to a specific control, first click on the control to select it. Okay, to click the control to select it. Okay, so we have, for example, I do click. Okay, I do clear. So then in the property window, find the property named tooltip on tooltip, right? Property window. Tooltip, right? We have option, which is here. Tooltip on, I have renamed it to clear button tooltip, okay? So, and type in the text that is to display for the controls, tooltip whenever the mouse is paused over the control, right? Over the control. type. So this click the button to reset the form. Okay, that is my information. Okay, click the button to reset the form. Okay, so okay, when we do this, right? I click enter right after you finish the information. Now let's run the application to see what's going on. So this is my application, right? I put my mouse on clear, right? You see, I got a hint message, clear the button to reset the form. You see, this is not the key, but it can improve user experience, right? The experience for the user to use the application, right? So for this course, we try to learn computer programming. That is one objective. But you see, the name of the course is not C# programming, C++ programming, Python programming. The name of the course is business application development. So there are two components, okay? The first component is we want to design friendly user interface, okay? Which is easy to use. Secondly, we learn some programming techniques, okay? That is different from a computer science department because we are not a computer science department, okay? We are in business school. And for most of you, for some of you, right, at least some of you, you are new in computer programming. So we want to balance the design stage and coding stage, okay? Coding stage. So which can give you an opportunity to practice both things, so both things. So if you really want to develop your background in this direction, there are more courses to take, okay, to take. For example, next semester, there's a course which is, what is that? Python for data analytics. I think that is a course next week. So sometimes the name of course is R for data analytics, whatever, or business analytics, something like this. So which is a little bit more advanced course, okay? A little bit more advanced because you will not learn how to code. You will learn how to analyze the data because we assume you have known some coding technique, okay? If you have no idea how to code, then forget about it. It's impossible, okay? Next semester, if you want to take that course, so you have to at least have some knowledge about how to program. That is objective of this semester. You see, while I teach the course, I go very slow. Some of you may feel that, oh, this professor treats us as not smart. No, because I assume everyone is new in computer programming. So it is always better to explain more details, okay? If I move too fast, so a lot of students will get lost or they are confused because they have no coding experience before. That is very, very important, okay? Because in the spring, there are other courses in business analytics. In order to take any of them, you have to have some coding skills, okay? Because you will code, okay? You will code, you need to code. So for example, I have some students who took this course with me, okay? It happens they took another course with me, which is not data analytics, but they are, at that time, they were taking another data analytics course. They are coding. So they came to me and asked me for coding questions, okay? Because they need to do code to analyze data. You see, everything is built based on simple coding skills. So that's why for this course, it is very important for all the students, because if you really want to go into business analytics, this is always the first step, okay? If you do not have the solid background in this course, so there is no way you can take any other courses in the future, okay? You still have to stay in the track to take a case study or qualitative or non-technical courses. Okay, that's why I keep emphasizing. So try to learn as much as possible because you will benefit from a long-term perspective. So I also understand, compared to other courses, this is not fun, to be honest. Okay, this is not fun. At least that was my personal experience when I took my first coding class. So that was not fun at all, but that's useful. Okay, that's useful. So hang in there, try to spend effort. I believe if you just hang in there and try to spend a lot of effort, you will learn a lot. Okay, there will be a reward. Okay, from all the effort you spend on the course. Okay, on the course. Okay. So this is tooltip. You see, I have a tooltip. I put my mouse on the button clear. I got a message, clear the button to reset the form. Okay, which is a message I just typed. Okay, just typed. So I think that's for chapter 4. Okay, today is not a very long lecture because if we have a face-to-face section, usually today I will reserve some time for students to do the lab. Reserve like 20 to 30 minutes for students to do the lab, okay? But this semester is very different. So we have most students are online, okay? So we finish chapter 4 next week. So we are going to learn chapter 5. We are going to spend only 1 week on chapter 5, okay? So the assignment 2 is due next Friday. And after next week, on one day, I will give you a simple review, okay? Simple review, okay? There will be no face-to-face lecture on Monday. I will make an announcement because that's a review, okay? I'll give a review for the midterm exam and probably on Wednesday, okay, starting on Wednesday, the midterm exam will be online for 3 to 4 days, okay? It is available for 3 to 4 days. And it will last 2 hours, okay, 2 hours. So you can prepare, okay? When you feel confident and you have a good time, right? You can start the exam online. But remember, you only have one chance to start the exam. So make sure that you are prepared and you have a good internet connection before you start, okay? Before you start. I will provide more details of the exam in the review session, okay? So for now, try to focus on lab 3. When you finish lab 3, try to focus on the assignment 2. Because if you work on the project by yourself and try to figure out all the problems and fix them, right, you really learn, okay? However, if you try to ask your friends, sometimes ask your friends to fix your problem, right? Without learning, you will lose an opportunity to learn. That is very, very important because, to be honest, I don't have the interest to challenge you. So my intention is I will push all of you to learn. That's my objective because you learn more, right? Then you have the chance to learn more advanced knowledge like data analytics, business analytics in the future, okay? If you don't have a solid background in this course, so there will be no discussion for any other future learning. I totally understand. For some of you, you feel the course is not very interesting, it is not fun, it is technical, it is difficult, it's time consuming, right? It is tough, okay? But my comment is it is useful. That's why I always try to spend a lot of time in explaining the details, okay? It is not because I'm boring. It is because I want to make sure that all the students can get the knowledge, can get the material, okay? So before we finish, any question? Okay, if there is no question, okay, I will start the quiz. for today's quiz, you only have one problem, which is to find the values of x, y, z based on if-else conditions, okay? So try to make sure that so you can analyze the problem step by step carefully. If you can do it carefully, you can finish it in maybe 5 minutes, at most 10 minutes, okay? But if you are not very clear, you are confused, you may get lost in the problem, okay? In the problem. So try to analyze the problem carefully, okay? So let me so still it is available, okay? And it will be available until 7 p.m. Okay, you have more than 2 hours to finish. Also, the lab 3 is due tomorrow. So if you have any question, so try to contact us, okay? So if you contact us tomorrow night, that might be too late, okay? That might be too late. That's still my comment, okay? So if you have no question, so that's for today. Thank you.